Danny, how do you feel like leaders could transition from, or are there situations where leaders can transition from transactional? There's necessary to transition from
Correct.
transactional to transformative.
Yeah, I think this could be an entirely separate podcast, but on my crusade to not say the words I've just been really busy. That's one of my things that'll just kind of make me go like this. But I feel like as managers and as leaders, and even employees and people who make the ship go, are wearing so many different hats and have so many different responsibilities that the week dictates that everything has to move really fast. And I feel like because of that, you tend to lean and gravitate more to transactional because it's the quickest way to get to the next thing,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yep,
So the whole slowing down a fast paced situation allows you, that's kind of the behavioral thing, the opportunity to then ask questions and use those small little things like, hey, on the next one, maybe let's try to think about this. Or, my favorite, again, in collaboration with my mentor is in a weekly or one-on-one situation, um, to open the conversation by saying, hey, what's on your mind? And
mm,
allowing the account executive, that could be work or not work, but
yeah,
what's on your mind? Sometimes I'll ask the same question twice just to make sure that they have every opportunity to get to where they want to get to. You uncover a lot of things in situations like that. Talk about delegation and problem solving as well, Andorra, and a management or a leadership direct report scenario. This used to drive me crazy when I was a rep here at WPBF. My first boss, Ryan Rothstein, who was responsible for a lot of the success that I've been fortunate enough to have inside this group. But I would do my homework. I'd bring in a situation, and I wouldn't just bring in a problem. I might have one or two different solutions. And he'd kick back in his chair and he'd go, I don't know, what do you want to do, handsome? And it would drive me nuts. I'd be like, dude, just give me the answer. I just want the answer.
yeah,
But when I started getting into management and getting into these roles, I'm like, oh, that's what he was doing. The whole
yeah.
time he was wanting me to be a critical thinker and wanting me to make those decisions. So I think those little moments of empowerment and collaboration with your teams can really go a long way as well.
Yes. Danny, I appreciate you saying that. One of the things that you mentioned earlier was around that human connection and human
Mhm.
touch. And I think some of that has gotten lost, consistent with what you're saying about people not being able to be critical thinkers as much.
Mhm.
Because what I hear you when you talked about that last the answer to the last question, it's almost like people need to slow down. We're going so
Yeah.
fast, we're moving
Yeah.
so fast, we're doing so
Yeah.
many things that it's hard for us to just slow down and just think, which then allows for people to pick up certain behaviors from me as a leader that I'm moving so fast that I must need to move fast too.
Yeah.
So, what do you think has happened as to how we've lost some of that human touch? We're not as much of critical thinkers as we used to be. We're very busy. We've got a lot going on. What do you think happened?
I don't know. It'd be really easy and/or right to just blame technology
Yeah,
and people having all the answers in their pocket or in the palm of their hand, or relying too much on non-verbal, non-face-to-face communication and just being keyboard warriors. I don't really know where the shift went, and that's something that covers a lot of turf, not just management leaders or sales. So to me, I'm not really sure. I think about it myself. I had two girls over the span of 3.5 years. That really softened me up a little bit. So that kind of gave me the ability to be able to connect better. But I don't know, just the philosophy that we all have 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours. And it's up to us to wake up in the morning and have 2 feet hit the floor and decide how we want to be in those moments and what we want to accomplish in those moments. Um, where it goes from there is it's all up to you and how you want to make your day. Do you want to, there's God, I hate to metaphor everybody to death, but I just saw it on my Instagram reel of all things as we're talking about technology. And this person's talking about, we have two choices. We can be the thermometer or we can be the thermostat. The
yeah,
thermometer reacts to the temperature in the room. The thermostat sets the temperature for the room. So it's like you have all these choices that are all happening in nanoseconds when you're waking up about how you want to operate in situations. But I think there's also, to all the leaders and managers that could be listening or seeing this, is you have to give yourself a little bit of grace too, and humility with that. Like, you know how many times over a week I go, man, I flubbed that one. I didn't do a good job there. And to be able to kind of archive that and go back to it the next time, or even pull that person in and say, hey, that one didn't go well. Here's how I want to make it better for us next time. Those little points are all really cool connectors, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, and that sounds like transactional versus transformational,
Yeah.
even with yourself. And even in thinking about mindset, I mean, what you just talked about was really about how do we change our mindset? I'm so glad that you said, we don't have to use technology as a crutch, because it's easy to say, well, it was technology. And I do think technology played a part, but there's a lot of pieces to that for us to have control. And I think that there's a lot that we feel like we've lost control of,
Mhm.
which, when managers, sometimes I hear them say, well, I can't tell people not to put time on my calendar there. Like I don't have control of my calendar, which I do. Or I can't, I have to answer this phone call, or I have to answer this email right now. Like everything is kind of this right now type thing. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too is control, but we've allowed some of those things to happen. So if we just slow down a little bit, that would
Yeah.
probably be a little bit better.
And just like the simple things I'll grade myself on is the what do you want to do question,
Hmm.
is really something that on a Friday, I'll look back and go, I didn't say that enough this week. I gotta try to ramp that up. Or even the simple things is like my door's over this way. My computers are all in front of me. When somebody comes in my office, to just stop and turn my chair.
Mm,
Those little things really, really add up. So my rep doesn't have to see me answering something from the side of my face because I just happen to be too buried in the 4 emails that I have in draft right now. So there's little things that we can do on a weekly basis as managers and leaders to kind of gauge ourselves and not be afraid to grade our own report cards or look in the mirror and hold ourselves accountable to better behavior as leaders.
yes, I love that. Danny, what advice would you give to leaders who are trying to develop their team's potential while navigating between transactional and transformative approaches?
Ooh. We talked a lot about it, just over some of the answers and the conversations that we've had. There is a book out there called The Ideal Team Player, and it talks about
Oh,
the
yeah,
concept. I said this in the presentation to the MSA program: is hungry, humble, smart. Um,
hungry, humble.
are you do you have the drive to want to do more, know more, learn more, and be more? What kind of humility do you operate with throughout that? And then not book smart, but just high emotional intelligence and the ability to connect with people. And whether you're looking to bring somebody on your team, there'll be conversations that I'll have with my mentors or my inner circle or my bosses when we're recruiting. All right, how many of the 3 do they have? Or myself working through, my week, how did I operate and hold myself up to those standards? So I think my advice would be, don't be overly critical of yourself, but you do need to hold yourself accountable. Just because you have the management chair does not mean you're a leader, and you got to earn that one.
Yeah.
And you have to continuously earn that one because of all the things that we've talked about here. So those are all interesting points. I think we talk about technology too, Andorra. Here's another topic of conversation that I've had with some of my inner circle and my board of directors, so to speak, is just, I'm not saying you can't do it, but watch how much you lead on LinkedIn and social media platforms.
Mm,
And that whole theory of being a LinkedIn manager and all these motivational gifts and stuff, because it's going to be really easy for your team to see that and then know how you operate when you're in the building face to face. There's
oh,
just there could be a disconnect. I'm not saying there always is, and please
yeah.
don't revolt and not post any cool stuff and motivational things on LinkedIn, because that's what facilitates the network there, but in that platform. But just be conscious of it, I think,
Yes.
in doing that.
That's a really excellent point. We are really focused, hyper focused on communication.
Mhm.
I talk to people about how I focus on communication, and that's one of our skills, our high skills that we have. So I'm very mindful of that when I'm talking to people, that I have to make sure that my communication skills are in check, because otherwise it's not matching up. It's not in alignment with what I'm saying, of who I want
Mhm.
to be and how I want to show up. So I think that's a really, really great point when we're talking about, how we want to show up, how we want our people to see us, and that it matches up all the time. So I love that. Danny, I mean, I think we could probably talk about this for hours
All
on
day. How long you got?
topic. We'll have to have you back. But Danny, I certainly appreciate this conversation. I think it will definitely start a different kind of conversation for leaders around transactional versus transformative. I mean, we really want to. I mean, sometimes it might be that there's some transaction, but we really want to be transformative. We really want to continue that human touch. So thank you so much, Danny. Danny, if someone wanted to reach out to you just to hear more about this topic, where could they find you?
LinkedIn is probably the easiest way for the widest group of people to get in touch with me. And there's all other sorts of ways, email and phone even. I'm open to that. So, but yeah, LinkedIn's probably the best way to connect with me. And I think finally too, Andor, a lot of these concepts that we're talking about, they're not new things. I don't want
Yeah,
to make it seem like I'm this new inventor of topics or ideas. It just all comes down to slowing it down and seeing how well you do in a given week, to sticking to those things and exercising those behaviors, I feel like is the real key, and where all this roots in the difference between the two.
awesome. Well, Danny, thank you so much again. Danny, who's director of SAA, training and development for Hearst, and also is a local sales manager at WPBF in West Palm Beach. Danny, thank you so much again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. And for
Excellent.
those, yes, and for those of you who are watching us today, thank you for joining. And please do connect with Danny, and we look forward to seeing you at another What's in the News very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you all very much, Andor. Thank you. We'll see you in a couple weeks in DC.
Yes, yes, thank you. I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.